Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Dota 2 Asia Championships 2015. We're in the thick of it now in the Asia Qualifier, and two of the top dogs about to face off. One side, you've got Hyper Glory team here, ZSMJ's squad, of course a celebrated player from a bygone age, but he's managed to carve out a new niche for himself with this team, and they are looking strong thus far in the qualifier, sitting at a whopping 15-5. Not a perfect record, but a 75% win rate moving on through. And, of course, the top four teams will qualify for the LAN finals. 5th and 6th will play in the wildcard matches. They are first place for now. eHome hot on their heels at 10-2. Immortal Magneto. I think the big surprise, along with Tongfu thus far, is Immortal Magneto sits at 10-4, Tongfu at 9-1. And beyond that, HGT, one of the teams with the fewest losses thus far in the qualifier. They're 8-2. They've looked pretty strong, and they'll look to continue that run moving into this draft. So we begin the draft now, and we'll take a look at the bans here first. A bit different from what we've been seeing in European Dota. Big things to note are Venge banned first phase, which has become increasingly common, but generally more in the European scene. We've seen the Wisp banned in the first phase. Brewmaster was allowed through quite a few times yesterday in the European qual. I say yesterday, I think it was like less than 12 hours ago I was casting the European qualifier finals, but the Brewmaster has often been ignored. Naga normally ignored in the European games, but not the case here. ZSMJ not wanting to, or Kaka rather, not wanting to give that one away, and of course maybe does play a sensational Naga Siren, so no surprises there. A lot of targeted bans towards him, now removing that Storm Spirit as well. Jug, just a generally strong hero in this patch, and very irritating to deal with, so a first phase ban. CDEC replied to this Ember Spirit first pick, normally ZSMJ the one to play it, with the Batrider Skywrath, so they get two heroes to deal with them. Your Skywrath Mage Silence, the Batrider Blink Lasso. I would say two of like the top probably 10 heroes in the game to deal with Ember. They're strong against him, so I like these two picks so far. Oh, did I think I got my tweet wrong. Did I? Oh, sorry. I mixed up the scores. HGT, they're 8-2. CDEC are 15-5. So do apologize for that, guys. I got a little excited in my intro. But, yeah, either way, point is both teams are doing very well in the qualifier thus far. So now Medusa banned out by CDEC, as they will remove that potential hard carry threat. Where does CDEC go from here? They've got the Scarlet Batrider, good early roaming and pick-off potential. They don't have a carry just yet. Always curious to see what maybe's going to get his hands on, and well, of course, he plays a pretty good Ember, too, but we won't see that this time around for him. So if you're just joining us, guys, this is my first time casting the Asia qualifiers thus far for the tournament, so looking forward to kind of the change in scenery and the different approach to the game that these teams generally exhibit. HGT coming off of a 2-0 win over CSW. They do like to run the Pretty Hot Chen from time to time. We've seen a little bit of Lion here and there. It looks like... let's see. I'm just looking at their draft from that last game. They ran the Air Shadow Fiend as well, so something that situationally you could butch out. And as I'm tabbing back in, it's actually CDEC who grabbed the Shadow Fiend, so they get maybe Snowball here. HGT with the Quick Line follow-up, good burst damage now. The Instant Hex, counter initiator that works pretty well against the Batrider. Just hex him as soon as he blinks in, so he gets the BKB. That can be a nice solution. Now, CDEC, they want the defensive support. They see this Lion Ember and Tide, who could rotate mid. They know Shadow Fiend mid is very vulnerable, and Skywrath, a good offensive support, not so good at protecting the SF. So I like this Earthshaker pick a lot from CDEC. They get something that will just help to keep him alive and in good fighting condition. And it'll make it more difficult to gank, but even so, Ember, once he hits level 6, you're going to have to be careful about the tower dives. And with the Flame Guard, Shadow Fiend won't be able to instantly remove that with a single raise later on, so he'll be able to get the jump and could make life difficult. HGT now looking for one more support here, and then most likely their secondary farmer. ZSMJ, I think I've seen him mostly going to the safe lane with the Ember Spirit, but there's certainly that option to run it mid against the Shadow Fiend, and potentially if they want to gank the lane a lot, that could be the way to go. They have the Lion pick. We've seen quite a few Ancient Apparition picks as of late. Vengeful Spirit currently banned out. There's, as mentioned, the Pretty Hot Chen they could turn to. Enchantress still in the pool if they want to run a jungler for him. Other supports to keep an eye on. Let's see. Who else could they go for? Pretty Hall, Ancient Apparition I mentioned. Those are the main ones, really. They've been running a lot of Venge, Ancient Apparition, Skywrath Mage. They already have a pretty good initiator. They'll hold off on that last pick. For now, they're going to go for the Viper. So they get a tanky frontliner, good against magic damage, and CDEC certainly have that in spades. The Mystic Flare, your Shadow Fiend raises, something that can dominate the Shadow Fiend in mid, potentially. So with this pick, probably going to see that Viper mid and your Ember Spirit headed to the safe lane with the Lion at his side. And they'll run the Tide off lane most likely for HGT, leaving them needing just that one additional support to round out the rest of the draft.
Reserve time.
Chen will be banned, so I like this ban. I mentioned it. Pretty Hall likes to play the Chen, and they see especially when you're running Shadow Fiend, you just want to cut down on the potential for the early roaming ganks. And the thing is, you ban the Chen here, generally you wouldn't be as worried about Chen with this draft because you have Firefly, Raises, and Fissures. You have good D push on CDEC, but when you're running a gankable carry, I think that's where the equation changes quite a bit.
Reserve time.
And now the 5th and final ban about to come out. What's it gonna be? CDEC needing a... Ooh, that's a little bit loud. Need a safe lane carry here, so... What do they have in mind this time around? Safe lane carries this game. They do have good lockdown for Ember, so that's not a big issue. Generally, you want something that can be more of a frontliner. They have Batrider, Earthshaker, good initiation, but nobody to really get up in the grill of the Viper. Wouldn't mind seeing like that, potentially even that Centaur Axe pick coming out. What else have CDEC been running lately? Let's take a look here.
Reserve time.
Faceless Void.
Okay, they'll go for the Void. Similar idea, just a really strong frontline initiator. Mystic Flare, good follow-up. And it's someone who can jump in while the Shadow Fiend just sits back and dishes out the nuke. So can triple raise into the Chronosphere, can Requiem over the top of it, and HGT will end up going back for the Doom. Is this the 4-position Doom for Pretty Hall? Or no, they're going to run the Pretty Hall Lion, maybe even a support Tidehunter. Is that possible? Probably going to see the jungle in Doom. I think someone did run a core... Yeah, it's going to be a Kaka Doom. So it looks to be the 4-position Doom here. I think I saw a team yesterday ran a core Lion, actually. Yeah, and let me correct my tweet here. That's embarrassing. Got the scores mixed up. Fire LD. Unbelievable. So they get Doom, good solution to the Void. If this game goes late, with the Doom factor now, HGT looking very fierce. So double Ravage, double Doom, your Lion, one of the best late game initiators. This is not a draft you want to go late against. But that said, CDEC have their Batrider, the ultimate initiator to go with the Void. And we have seen time and again, Batriders, even when they're up against what looks to be on paper a superior late game lineup, just win the game through better initiations. As I can't change my minimap hero icons because my I key does not work. Dota, please. Alright, we'll just have to make do with these gigantic bifocal style ones. We'll introduce the teams now. CDEC currently sitting at 15-5 in great shape to finish in the top 4. Move right along to your LAN finals. CDEC, well, we're going to start it off with XH, followed up by Mikasa, maybe, on the Void Garter, handling your Earthshaker, and that leaves Q on the Skywrath Mage. As for HGT, you've got Kaka playing the Doom with the early boots pickup. Pretty Hall on that Lion. ZSMJ will actually be the Viper this time around. So they're going to mix it up a bit and put air onto your Ember Spirit. And then the offlane goes Icy as the Tidehunter. Let me get logged out here. Hopefully we don't miss a kill. Nope. Nothing too aggressive yet. Just CDEC moving into the Radiant Woods. They plop down a Sentry Ward early on. Let's see if they try to block the Doom's big camp. Now they're going to leave Kaka to it, so he should be able to get it early. ZSMJ heading towards that top bounty rune, but already there to snag it is Icy. He'll grab that one, and your Batrider will grab the one bottom. So overall, a 1-for-1 here. Both offlaners snagging it first, and they'll head back towards the lane. So Shadow Fiend going mid for Mikasa, up against the Viper. Very iconic 1v1 matchup. Generally a matchup where Viper needs to look to dominate this lane early. Ideally, either get a kill or force the Shadow Fiend off the lane before he gets the level 3 raises. Once the level 3 raises come out, the lane gets more difficult, and that's if it's a 1v1. But CDEC aren't going to easily allow that. They rotate in their Scarith Mage. He'll be putting a little bit of pressure on your Viper as Kaka retreats off to the jungle. So 4-position Doom, for now, not getting aggressive. That can change later, as the SMJ just takes a huge amount of damage from the Scarith. Still has a lot of mana, too. Being harassed down nicely by Mikasa's auto attacks, and Kaka now makes his way in as well. He's going to strut through the lane. He's got the boots. Oh, Mikasa, got to be careful not to let him get on top of you. The clap's up. No, not going to go for it. Honestly, I think they could have dove that, but they're going to play it safe. They don't know where this Earthshaker is right now, so he moves into position. He was actually just off stacking this camp for the Shadow Fiend, so there was like a slight window there, but of course they don't realize that, so they'll play it safe. Icy getting harassed a bit by the Scarith Mage. And so it is the safe lane Ember. Gonna have a tough time harassing this Batrider. Uh-oh. Big dive in from your Doom. Kaka swinging on through. Garter here to join him. He's gonna start trading blows. Dancing through the trees. I'll just swipe him a few times. He's got a tango here if need be. And Garter not getting the better edge of this exchange. The Doom Rainer right now showing off his musculature. So, comparing the two off lanes, we've got the Tidehunter off lane. Icy, he's chewed through his salve. He's used up his tangos. He's getting harassed quite a bit by Maybe, and I like this choice for Maybe. You go for the early Quelling Blade on Void, just the solution to the Anchor Smash harass. Not a full solution, but a solid one. As our 2-minute rune will spawn Kaka, he will grab a bounty, and top lane will be the double damage rune, but Earthshaker, not the ideal here to snag this. They would love to get it out for the Shadow Fiend, who is busy being pounded mid lane. This is when the Viper is very strong. Mikasa has to be careful. 1-2 more auto attacks would be enough to bring him down. DSMJ not going to die for this. In the meantime, your Doombringer gets a kill in the back bottom lane. At the same time, Icy's trapped out by the Earthshaker. First blood going the way of Team HGT, and Icy, he'll be second blood, it looks like. Nuked down, finished off by CDEC. So a nice takedown there. As the Batrider ends up going down. Shadow Fiend also falling in the midst of that. We saw him drop low earlier. So 3 kills breaking out simultaneously, and a 2-for-1 exchange favoring HGT. Mikasa was kind of asking for it. Sticking around here, super low. And he has a salve and 2 tangos right now. No bottle anywhere nearby. CS only 8 and 3. Despite the early Scarif support, he's just struggled in this middle lane. And you die early to a Viper like that, the lane gets tough. ZSMJ now picking up a headdress. They may just have to leave the Earthshaker mid. And good news for the Shadow Fiend, though, he's got the triple stack. So he can look to catch up here quite a bit, and ZSMJ just hanging back at the tower for now. Nice solo kill, though. Raise number 1 comes out. The fissure. Raise number 2, not sufficient, as he barely scurries away. Mikasa also low. He's going to be forced to sal, but with the... Kaka storming in with the... just the Alpha Wolf. He's got the Orb of Venom, though. And this is kind of the new style way to play the Doom in the Chinese scene. We see a lot of this early roaming, get your Tranquil Boots Orb of Venom, and it's in stark contrast to how most of the CIS teams are playing the Doom, where they normally run it more as an offlaner, and he just goes into the jungle, gets his Midas, goes back for the Blink, then tries to start building his first Corridum, be it the Ags, maybe the Shivas or BKB, and scale up more into the late game. But Kaka playing the 4-position Doom and just playing it a lot more aggressively. Pressure on Mikasa. It's going to be his 3rd time rotating towards CDEC supports, towards the mid lane, and, well, he's found some friends. The Scarith Mage here, Fissure block going to come out, and it's a good block. We'll have to turn and fight this one. Viper's here to join him, though. Kaka standing strong and chasing down QQ. Unfortunately, he's slowed. That's going to wear off, though. Orb of Venom can begin to work its magic, but that Scarith already has its boots, so should be okay. And meanwhile, a wild XH Batrider appears. Nice body blocks. Getting the sticky napalm out on ZSMJ. Now fire flying over the top. They're going to look to run him down here. He's got a single tango. It won't be sufficient. They get the kill. Great early movement. He'll pay with his life, it looks like. There's a Hex. Oh, maybe not. The Doom also on the run. He's herded back towards the mid lane. Finished off. A wild 6 heroes appear. Already your score 3-3. A bloody start to this game number 1. Oh my goodness. Well, Ember will be happy. Air's like, sweet, got lane to myself. I'm feeling good. So our offlaner's still neck and neck, both level 5, the Tidehunter. No ancient stacks just yet for him, and looking at this Radiant jungle right now, there's not really a whole lot going on. As Doom will buy a super early smoke and look to ferry it out here. Let's see who he delivers it to. Ideally, you want to wait until you get a better creep for ganking. Like getting the Alpha Wolf, just not that strong at this stage. It is good for running a squishy support down, but if they have boots and can just stay out of range, then it's a tough kill. There's a Ravage online, though. I see... Oh, there's also no Chrono yet. Void just a smidgen short. This would be a great time to go for kill opportunities. Kaka makes his way in mid. He's going to dive onto the Shadow Fiend. ZSMJ, who will fall first? It's a 1-for-1 exchange. The supports happily smashing down the enemy carries. Kaka, the one fighting under the enemy tower at the same time your Bat Rider. Harassed back quite a bit. Oh my goodness. This middle lane. I mean, you run a Shadow Fiend mid, you definitely want to contest him. And conversely, when you're running a Viper mid against the Shadow Fiend, if the Shadow Fiend's on your team, you know he needs help. So both teams certainly have their reasons to go for this kind of pressure, but 8 kills in 6 minutes, and it honestly feels like more. Constant rotations. Kaka hits level 6, though. That kill making a big difference, and with that, they can look to set something up. At the same time, ZSMJ has to be careful. There's a lasso, and he's going to get reeled right back up the cliff, maybe even on the other side of the fissure. It's good enough. The kill secured. At the same time, top. Icy has been gone on. He has Ravage. Doom is coming, though. They might be able to turn this. He gets bashed. He's got a Ravage. He doesn't get it off. Oh, he had a moment there. He wanted to wait for Kaka, and ends up not being able to get the kill. Costly. Oh, maybe taking the tower, though. I feel like Kaka could be going for this. He's a bit worried about the Skywrath support, and he's going to hang back for now.
Middle tower is under attack.
They also had a TP on air. I'm not sure if he just picked it up, but that would have been a great time for the Ember to get involved top lane. And opting not to Ravage until it was a bit too late. Doom not going in, Ember not rotating. HGT feels like they're missing out on some kill opportunities, and in the meantime, your Shadow Fiend, Mikasa, has just cleared out. Or no, hasn't cleared out. He walked towards the jungle to stack, and now he's going to come back to the lane. But he can clear the stack out soon and look to pull really far ahead. As Kaka does have smoke. They have Ravage online. This is a really nice time to go. Maybe no Chronosphere right now. Counter initiation from the Earthshaker has no TP. This is perfect. So if you're ever going to go on top lane, this is about as good as it gets. No ultimate. No fissure defense available. Let's see, just hanging out though. And there is actually a Dire Observer Ward here, but I don't think it spotted the smoke. Kaka hangs a reserve, and in the meantime, Air swings towards the bottom rune. A lot of movement now from HGT. They start getting a little antsy to make some plays happen. They know maybe he's farming here top. He gets Ravaged and Doomed for good measure. Earthshaker still no fissure. No way out. Maybe we'll just turn and fight. Accepts his fate. It's a big commitment killing off the safe lane Void, but well worth it to slow him down. We'll TP out now. Rotation from CDEC. Looks like it's a bit late. And the 4-position Doom for Kaka continues to be successful. Constantly moving around the map. He's hit level 7. He's maxed Devour. The Midas will be timely. And he's been just very good at applying the pressure. 2-1-1. Not so lucky, though, as Mikasa. He's only got Gloves of Haste, looking for that Midas catch-up. And despite the deaths, he still sits with 40 CS. So he's done a good job of staying in it, thanks to the support Earthshaker. The very iconic Chinese way to play it. Just constantly off in the woods, stacking and protecting your mid. They love to do it, and not just him. We see this a lot from Lanham, or we did, rather, when he's playing on DK. Just a hero that the more he's off the map, the less aggressive the opponents can play. If you don't know where Earthshaker is, it's kind of the reverse of like the Nyx theory, where the less the Nyx is visible, the more defensively you have to play, and at the same time, if you're an aggressive lineup but the Earthshaker's missing, you're not as confident to go for those dives, just because he can always be there, counter-initiate, and potentially, if you've overextended the tower range, you end up getting wiped. So the Dire will end up snagging this top tower. They now have Chronosphere online. Let's see if anyone wants to rotate through. They teleport in their Shadow Fiend. Oh, they're going to look to fight it. Sticky Napalm coming out, swinging around the backside is your Void. Ravage not up for 50. Doom now online. No, maybe going to back off. Still lurking around this mid lane. They have a smoke on Pretty Haw. They're going to draw the line towards top. They have Doom. They just don't have the blink yet. He's only working towards his Midas now. It is, of course, pretty early for a 4-position Doom, but the thing is, without that, you can't easily jump this Void. No blink on Lion. They got to get the the sneak attack going if they want to find that kill. Unfortunately, the golems are here, so Mikasa will have to work a bit harder for this camp, but he will clear it out. Still a very quiet game from Air's Ember. Could have TP top earlier, set up some kills, and didn't apply any pressure on the Shadow Fiend. And the one issue with the safe lane Ember is, if you're not killing your lane and you're not ganking, what are you doing? He doesn't push very quickly. The tower's not even been scratched. Even though Bat ganked mid, Bat has been off the map quite a bit. It's definitely a hero that scales well, but by no means the hardest carry in this game. You've got the Void, the Doom, even the Shadow Fiend to worry about. And HGT will now go for a smoke play. So they're going to look to get aggressive. Max Flame Guard out. He's got the level 2 chains. Good timing window here. The only thing they're really missing that they could have soon is the mechanism on their Viper. In fact, it's very close, and this could go poorly for CDEC. They're going to go for the Southern Strike. Well, ZSMJ is now on his own. Oh no. They've left him. They were mid. The timing might not be right, and then this Void might realize what's up and just back the hell away. ZSMJ lassoed, wrangled, and dealt with. They'll get the kill. And already, maybe. Time walks out. He senses danger. You can see the dire vision right now. They see nothing. Now spotting the heroes, and a big wasted opportunity there from HGT, while CDEC coming out on top. Looking to put a third loss up on HGT. The Mikasa Shadow Fiend really struggled in the lane, but he's a comeback player. 69 and 11 CS, 5k net worth. He does not go for the Midas, gets straight towards the Ogre Club, and up against all this pick-off potential, the Blink Ravage soon, the Hex Finger. Yeah, there's a Doom, but you need this BKB. If not as your first item, then certainly as one of the very next.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Garter and Q combining forces as they engage towards the Radiant Woods. They're going to walk up a cliff into a fissure. This could be a total disaster. 2 heroes trapped out. Where's the backup? No, they went back to the bottom lane. Okay, 3 kill. Garter fingered. Oh, they want the tower instead. Void, Mikasa maybe going to work on this one. That was a nice fissure block, but not sure what the plan was there. It looked like they were going to bring everyone towards the ramp, but instead the Void and Shadow Fiend just continued to push bottom and backed off, in which case you might as well not fissure and just walk away. Slight miscommunication there, it looks like, from CDEC. But a tower for a kill on a support, ultimately still favoring them slightly, I would say. This is a confident Shadow Fiend now. Has the haste rune up. And just begins laying into your Ember Spirit. So now, looking at HGT over the next few minutes, they really need this Doom Blink Dagger. That's probably the main thing. The mech on ZSMJ looks like he should get it now. Poppy is Buckler, but still terrified of ganks. Even confident to walk into CS, and he's got his entire team behind him. ZSMJ feeling a bit rattled. 4 deaths. He's been under the gun this game. The Batrider backstabs. He came twice to the mid lane. Earthshaker's been there defensively. The Doom did connect on the 1 kill, but even then it cost the Viper his life. And now it looks like we'll see a smoke. XH and Q moving as a tandem. They take the southern route. Rotating towards Kaka and Air. I'm not sure if they spot out Kaka. Oh, no, they've got an Observer Ward. They know. This Ogre Club comes through, and at the same time, your lasso trapping out Kaka. Raise number 1, 2, and 3. Quick, clean kill. Nicely done by Mikasa. Air. Now forced to retreat. And they can't really jump him. But this Batrider pick is starting to really pay off. Shut down the Viper early. Now finding kills elsewhere on the map. Taking the tier 1 bottom. Really starts to open everything up. And he's gone full 3-2-2, folks. That's your 3-2-2 Batrider into house. For HGT, they get this Doom Blink. I think he... Oh, no, he's gone Ogre Club. Okay, he goes for a BKB. Yeah, I'm not sure. There is Fissure Mystic Flare, but the problem for HGT is this means only the Tidehunter can initiate, and that's a hero that can win you the fights, but also you often just see Tidehunters get overzealous with the blink initiations and come in, commit really heavily. The team's not right behind them. They come in a bit slow, and then the Void's there to counter-shade. If you go in with this Blink Ravage, you must kill off the bat Earthshaker or Void. Ideally both, but at least get on top of one of them. So those are the heroes Icy will be looking for. They're rotating back and forth up and down the ramp. Kaka. Joined by Air, Pretty Hall, and Icy. Another smoke gank from HGT that seems like it may end up not paying off. CDEC have just been a bit better with the map awareness, the rotations, and essentially just dodging these smokes. Maybe. Has vision now. He sees them as the smoke will dissipate. And he'll just retreat to safety, although they do have the Mystic Flare. So if anyone is just a straggler left alone, SMJ may end up going down, as they will now deward that observer. So no longer having the vision, CDEC gonna tuck themselves back in the trees and just chill. You see the Tri-Core really starting to pull out now. CDEC with that 2.5k gold lead, 2.5k experience. The 4 cores for HGT not too far behind them, making this a fairly even game. And they're just waiting for the Mystic Flare pickoff. Still maybe in queue here. Oh, Air. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is perfect. They'll get the silence now. Chrono to follow this up. No, not even needed. Just the Mystic Flare. The bashes secure the kill. And they hold the Chrono. Very nicely played. And that's just good execution by CDEC. They really understand their draft. They have a Void Skywrath and a Bat Rider. They're not running quite the level of teamfight of HGT with all the lockdown, the mech early on the Viper, a team fighting carry by nature. They are running more of a pick-off style, and they know the Shadow Fiend will just continue to farm. As long as Void and Bat are able to go around getting picks, then the game plan proceeds as intended. So then the question becomes, how do HGT kind of fight their way out of this contain? I guess at this point it really feels like the Lion Blink is the key. With the BKB, the choice for Kaka, he's not able to make big plays for the team. He's more able to just tank up a bit and just be a nuisance in a prolonged engagement. But he can't quickly win them a fight, and they're bringing back in the Skywrath. Radiant Observer does spot this. You can see they went for D-Ward just barely out of vision. We'll drop another Sentry, but that one also off the mark. Oh, now you're dead, Q. Maybe not. Gets off the concussive shot. It just had that feeling, you know, like he drops the one Sentry earlier, doesn't get the Observer, then drops another, also misses. It feels like at that point you're cursed, but in this case, the curse is broken. Scarf Mage able to fight his way through it. They're going to maneuver around the Roche Pit now, but I don't know if CDEC really want to go for this just yet. Oh man, CSMJ. Wasn't any dire heroes there from the looks of things. Garter maybe throw out a fissure. No, hasn't used his arcane boots in a while. Just missed on the deny, letting the Radiant get or the dire rather, get a freebie. So nice additional gold now piling up. I have to say the overall movements just seem very CDEC favored. Even though Golden Experience is not that heavily against them, and with the Doom Midas you should continue to keep it close, it's more just the fact that they're farming more of the map. CDEC have been aggressively farming bottom with their Shadow Fiend. We saw that earlier with the Haste Rune. We've seen it more recently with the Void. They're fighting pickoffs with the Lasso as well as the Chronosphere. They're just in control of the tempo of this game, and I see the lineup that feels like they should be. Like this to me is the time when they should really start to shine. Your Tide Blink, your Viper mech, and I mean it's also a very poor Viper to be fair. You run this hero mid, you want to dominate the Shadow Fiend. He's now down 3.4k. Bat Rider rotation's really punishing him. They're gonna make their way over towards mid. Bringing in an XH, I'll deforest a bit. Smokey the Bear. Not too happy right now about what's going on in his jungle. And now back to the Roche Pit. But at the same moment, we may have that clash. Air and Icy. Oh, brother. Here we go. They're going to mosey on in. There's an Invis Rune. Let's see if they stop to grab it. Pretty Hall just going to walk right past it. But Mikasa gets off his BKB, and they can't doom him because Kaka's silence. It leaves the SMJ in a terrible position. Chronosphere quickly used to eviscerate your Lion, although the Void now retreats, and they continue to fight this one out. They doomed Garter. He got off his Echo, but that was about it. Q chasing out Kaka, can't finish the job, and they get the Earthshaker kill. Now looking for more. They're fighting their way through this. Mikasa BKB now down. He's got to be careful. He's going to go for a TP out. Chains get him. Mikasa, all kinds of issues for him to deal with, and they haven't even ravaged yet. He'll end up falling. And now on the other side of the fight, your Doom overextends slightly. He'll end up going down. Earthshaker with that buyback to turn it. Chase. They still have Ravage. There's no Chrono. There's no Lasso. And there's no Doom. But there is a Ravage. This is not a Roshan that CDEC want to be messing around with. At least not without superior numbers. A very back and forth game here. 9-11 your score just when you think CDEC's starting to pull away with it. Shadowfiend uses up, I believe it was his 10-second BKB. Yeah, 10-second BKB used up. He ends up going down on top of that. Void, as well as Shadowfiend, still leaders in net worth, but as you saw, the graph is shooting back up towards HGT land. Now the Doom BKB nearly complete. Your Lion, Blink closing in. As we see, ZSMJ will go for the Midas. He's HGT, I think, correctly reading this game. It's ideally the way their draft's supposed to work. I think you look to be farther ahead now than this. Viper hopefully dominating Shadowfiend mid, Tidehunter, Doom, Lion, and the Viper mech allowing you to just take these huge team fights, and Ember not up against too much reliable lockdown. Just really the Sky Renaissance and maybe a Lasso, and he had free farm to boot. But unfortunately, the game's not likely to end anytime soon. They haven't secured Roshan. They have yet to take a tower. And as a result, feeling this game will go late, ZSMJ says, let's get a little insurance. So he'll go for the Midas. I think it's a wise choice. Blink initiation attempted by XH. Well, they doom him, really. But then what? Well, this is awkward. Well, he's already fiery. I guess what does a little bit more infernal health flames matter, really, in the end? Shadowfiend went out TP mid, and this opens up a window now. With Doom down, HGT, I don't know if they can contest the Roche. That was a very odd Doom from Kaka. Like, sometimes Bat jumps on you and you just panic Doom him instantly, and it often is the correct choice, but first, he sees him blink in, then he turns to walk away, and then Kaka dooms him with just a Viper behind himself. It was a delayed panic doom. Oh, well, it's okay. XH has cooperated. This even baits out a BKB for the Void. The illusion bait. We saw it yesterday from Na'Vi. They threw an Omni Slash, Finger, Chronosphere, and I believe Witch Doctor all on an Morphling Replicate. And, well, a CDEC not quite as bad, but now with the Void BKB down, with the Lasso down for a bit longer. 50 seconds and counting.
Top tower is under attack.
The Roshan fight brews, but does not break out. They'll now rotate behind Mikasa. They're just going to push out this bottom lane now, try and force HGT to go defend as mid lane's also pushing, and Air will address that. He goes for the Yasha. We have not seen too much Battle Fury Ember in China lately. It's been a lot more Yasha Manta style, and obviously does not increase your farm speed as much, but gives you a lot more mobility in the fights. Good against silences as well. That's generally when we see it most. And, well, with Skywrath being picked up, this is the silence game. Roshan gonna fall. It was snuck by CDEC, and I see blinks in. TP out from your BKB Shadowfiend. Nothing to cancel that except Doom, which wasn't in range, but they'll get Q at least. Fingered and dealt with. Still, getting this Aegis, getting everyone out safely, I think worth the cost, the price of admission in this case, which is just a solitary Skywrath mage. Oh, as well as the Shadowfiend BKB charge. At the same time, though, you know the Shadowfiend BKB's down. If you're HGT, maybe this is a window to go in mid. Doom cooling down. Or actually has it, but no. Waiting for the mana to accrue.
Is under attack.
Smoke gank now from CDEC. XH and Garter trotting up the river, heading over the cliff, looking for the jump on air, and will he get out in time? No, there's your lasso. Shadow Fiend laying into him. They've got an Echo Slam and don't even need it. Just the quick enchant totem fissure. Again, XH connects with his ganks, and 4, 2, and 3, he's a high impact here at this point. You compare that to the Tidehunter 1, 2, and 2, just hasn't had the same results as the SOJ trap mid. He's got a mech, won't get to use it. Maybe getting the kill there with Q. Just a very simple, straightforward series of pickoffs. See, not doing anything crazy this game, just good movement early from the Earthshaker to help protect the Shadow Fiend. Simple kills with the Chronosphere Mystic Flare. And your casual Batrider lassos from XH. Nice clean movements, but it's nothing too crazy. Certainly nothing HGT haven't seen before. Just getting outplayed, really. Maybe we'll get the tower. He, of course, is the Aegis carrier. BKB has been online, and now it looks to be time for that first damage item. The Shadow Fiend here, he's got some secondary backup carry by his side. Doesn't need to necessarily be the pure one-position void. But I think that said, you still go for some sort of damage item here. What would be good? Don't really want to go Butterfly. You could, but you already have a lot of attack speed from Midas. So I think here you go for either like the Mjolnir build. There is the Ember Flame Guard, but otherwise no BKBs yet. Doom still... Doom actually has completed his. VSMJ still working on his. Daedalus, pretty good option. MKB, a solid choice. And now alas, so VSMJ, we've seen this movie before. He still doesn't like how it ends. He gets pulled, but not all the way out of the Mystic Flare. Close though. Maybe we'll BKB, just to ensure that they get this kill cleanly and able to retreat out. The Batman, again, the playmaker. It just feels very formulaic from XH. We're going to see some big illusion plays. Some spells. No, no Doom. Okay. Kaka showed some patience here. You see a random wild Shadow Fiend just waltzing up a ramp. You better assume it's an illusion at this stage. Speaking of that Shadow Fiend, I think his Manta on the way. Yeah, completed Manta now out. Very good versus the Ember to just Manta out of the chains. Also really nice against Doom. You Manta when he blinks in, and it's like, good luck figuring out which one's the real one before I just lay into you and finish you off. So both teams now with a gem. Gem picked up by Batrider. Or I thought Earthshaker bought one. Maybe it was the Bat actually. Okay, just the one gem on the Bat it looks like. My eyes, they doth deceive me. Oh, big time walk for maybe. Over 2 tree lines. I'm really not sure where HGT go. The items they've picked up, like going for the Yasha Ember, you're not going to outfarm a Shadow Fiend Void with the map control they have. Doom, I think it's really just Doom Dota at this point. You have to look for Kaka to get gigantic this game. Aghanims will be essential versus the Void. And I think you need that Shiva's Refresher as well, somewhere in the mix. Shiva's will be the next choice. So we probably see him go Shiva's Refresher or Shiva's Agh's Refresher. I think the Agh's maybe a bit better, just to help live through that Chrono, so you can guarantee that you get off your Doom. Garter in position though. HGT, if they walk up this ramp, there's going to be trouble brewing. In position is your Shaker. Oh, pretty haw. He's close. He's very close. And they're going to look for the initiation onto Mikasa. They get off the Impale, but a good defensive force there from your Batrider. Buys them time. Now Pretty Haw done. And a Chrono that catches out 4. Batrider blinks on top of it. Ravage is there, but Void able to fight his way through it. So too is the Shadow Fiend. They bring through the pain. Doom all dead. 4. Make it 5. It's a buyback from your Ember. It doesn't matter. He can't do a thing. An easy triple for Mikasa. And you would not know by his score now, 5, 3, and 7, that this guy had a rough start in lane. Solo killed by the Viper. Ended up dying to a Doom gank. GG, HGT. They get thwomped in game number 1. I gotta say, The Bat Rider, for me, the MVP. Just such good initiations all around the game, and pretty good defensive support play as well from that Earthshaker. Well, guys, with that said, this is game one of a best of two. So coming up next, we'll have the rematch as the teams will switch sides and look to do battle. Thank you all for watching the Dota 2 Asia Championships. With this win here, CDEC going to improve to 16-5, and they smack down HGT, who still sit at a nice and pretty 8-3. Both teams in contention for that top 4, ideally, or if not top 4, then at least top 6, where you get one of those wild card slots. With that said, I'm LD Beyond the Summit. You can follow me at LD Dota on Twitter. Folks, we shall return for game number 2 in just a moment. Stay with me.